It was her birthday. She was turning 17, but a boy couldn't handle her rejection and unalived her. This isn't about just one girl. This is something much deeper. This is something that has been normalized in Pakistani society.
A 17-year-old TikTok star in Pakistan has been shot dead in a gruesome murder. Sana Yousaf had more than 1.5 million social media followers and was well known for her beauty and lifestyle content. She was shot dead at point-blank range in her home in Islamabad by a man who'd contacted her online on multiple occasions. Police have arrested a suspect they believe was stalking her, saying it was a case of repeated rejections.
Every video I've seen of her, she was laughing or smiling. She had such a bubbly, fun, cute personality. She represents a typical Pakistani girl. I grew up in Pakistan, so I know what a Pakistani girl is like. She was making TikTok content. She wanted to become a doctor, and best of all, she had full support from her father, her mother. Where things got wrong is when this man got obsessed with her. He sent her multiple messages, multiple proposals, but she clearly said no. But he was unable to take no as an answer. She became a challenge to him and he became obsessed. And he came to her house on July 2nd, that was her birthday, and he unalived her. In Pakistan, it's typical men's mentality that they have this entitlement that if they choose a girl, she's lucky that she gets chosen. And when they get rejected, they take it very personally, and it's an injury to their fragile ego. And before I proceed further, I want to add that it's not all men, of course, but this is a culture in Pakistan that men are really entitled. That's how they are raised by their moms. And a boy mom is even more entitled. She thinks she is on top of the world and everyone should bow down to her because she has a boy. However, when it's a girl's mom, she has to be humble. She has to walk with her head down because to have girls is nothing to be proud of. And I really thought things are changing in Pakistan, but when I see stories like this, it really breaks my heart that things are still not changing. So I'm going to discuss psychology and deep cultural conditioning that is causing all of this and what can we do about it. Many mothers raise their daughters for the world. They prepare their daughters to be humble, to be kind, to be a good girl, to be obedient, to be accepting, to be silent, to be respectful. However, they don't teach their sons any of that. The biggest thing they teach their sons is that you are better than a girl and instill a sense of entitlement in him. The mom raised their sons for themselves. That's how patriarchy not only fails women, they also fail a man. Look at this guy. He will spend his whole life in prison. He is only 22. They taught him no tools, how to process emotions, how to process a rejection, no way to communicate, just rage and anger. And the worst part is that Sana isn't the only one. There are so many other girls who were shining brightly on social media end up with the same fortune.
This is 17-year-old Pakistani TikTok star Sana Yousaf, whose life was taken too young when she was shot unalived in her own home yesterday. Authorities are saying that this is a case of repeated rejections. 22-year-old accused was reported to have repeatedly reached out to her, continuously being rejected. He was seen loitering around the house for hours until he went in, shot her in point-blank range, and she died on the spot. Get this, the suspect is identified as her cousin. Her cousin, Umar Hayat, who's been apprehended by police within 24 hours. Violence of this sort against women is pervasive. It is an epidemic. Grown-ass men never learning how to take no as an answer, doing this over rejection, is not talked about enough. The tale as old as time, 2021, Noor Muqaddam beheaded by her Pakistani American boyfriend. Why? Because she rejected his marriage proposal. 2016, Khadija Siddiqui stabbed 23 times by a jilted ex-boyfriend. 2016, Kandil Baloch, her brother, unalives her because he doesn't agree with her influencer lifestyle. Time and time again, same story, same shit. When will it end?
Why they feel that a woman who is visible on social media and is just being unbothered, having a good time, living her life, being followed and admired by so many viewers and fans, why they see her as a threat? Because women are no longer scared. They are free. When you see Sana Yousaf, one thing you will notice is that she was so free. She was just expressing everything, her inner self, beautiful, pure soul, freely, openly, and respectfully, because that's also part of Pakistani culture. Respect and honor are really big. Especially a girl has to make sure when she is presenting to the world, she presents to the world in a respectful way, in an honorable way. And she was doing all that. She was presenting honorably and respectfully, but also just being herself with no fear. Even when this boy came to her house, she has cameras installed in her house because he has done it before. Even then, she was not afraid. Do you know what did she tell him? She told him to just relax. He seemed very wired up, and she said, I'm going to bring you a glass of water. And when she went and came back with a glass of water, he shot the gun. Some men don't hate women. They hate women who don't fear them. That's why you see all these girls openly expressing themselves on social media are getting unalived. Pakistani dramas are very popular in the entire Southeast Asia. And in majority of the dramas, what they do is they glorify, they romanticize a man with narcissistic and possessive trait who is controlling, emotionally abusive towards his wife. And then they show him that the wife is rewarding him with forgiveness. And that is considered a happy ending. When a girl leaves that kind of a husband, everyone is sad. Oh my gosh, the family is broken. She should have sacrificed herself for the family. Also, when any of these kind of tragedies happen, majority of the people say, oh, if she was wearing hijab, this wouldn't have happened. They even said it in her case, in Sana Yousaf's case. Oh, if she was wearing hijab like her mom, this wouldn't have happened. Oh, if she was modest enough, this wouldn't have happened. They always talk about what the girl could have done. They never talk about the boy. Why the boy shouldn't have killed her. I even have seen videos, and this is very normalized in Pakistani society. A lady was saying that Sana was not even dancing on TikTok. She was making nice videos. So do you think if a girl is dancing on TikTok and she's not modest according to your criteria of modesty, she deserves to be unalived or she deserves to be harassed? A lot of Pakistani people will see no problem with it. This is cultural conditioning. This is the patriarchal society we live in. They'll also say things like, oh, girls shouldn't be on TikTok. Oh, they shouldn't be on social media. That's how boys are going to be boys. They are going to do this if a girl is exposing herself. It's always the girl, never the boy. And that's why these things keep on happening, because we keep on blaming the victim. She should have set her boundaries better. She should not have responded to his messages. She's a social media personality. She collaborates with people. So when the boy has a social media presence too, so when he first messaged her, she replied, I believe he said, I'm very impressed with your work, and she replied because she thought it's a collaboration. But when he said he's interested in her, he wants to be friends with her, she immediately said no. And then he kept harassing her, and she kept saying no. Women on social media freely expressing themselves is a form of women empowerment, and that is a threat to men with fragile egos. The more confident she is, the bigger of a threat she becomes to him. What we need to do is we need to educate boys about respect, boundaries, how to regulate emotions, how to regulate rejection. Social campaigns that focus on emotional intelligence and healthy masculinity. Legal reform against unaliving of women and stalking behavior.